what is technology? Technology is a highly complex concept that includes numerous factors. Trying to be as straightforward as possible, we could say that technology is everything we humans use to mediate our interactions with nature. For example, a glass is something we use to drink water. Since the water is a liquid, we cannot hold in our hands or carry from, let's say, the place where the water is to our working place. It is a complex of objects, actions, and ideas we practice to obtain a specific result over nature, including knowledge of these objects and nature, how to manipulate them, and the specific aspect of the world from we want to obtain a particular result. For example, if you want to mine gold, you will have to buy a pick and a shovel, both made of a wood stick with iron. You will also have to find where the gold is and use these tools properly. So if you have the right tools, find the right place and use them well, you have the technology. The term I used before, complex, lead us to the idea of convergence. Nowadays, at least in Western cultures, capitalism is the social economical system that rules the way we live and produce almost everything in our societies. In their way of making profits, private companies tend to develop better technologies. This means experimentation, resources, knowledge, objects, human labor, and an economic system converging in a certain social conditions to create our current technology. In this way, since the tremendous impact technology has on societies, the way the societies understand and harness technology, it's also part of the concept of technology. For example, even knowing the dreadful consequences that nuclear technology could have, we use it for obtaining electric energy at a low cost and for medical purposes as well. Technology is also a way of thinking and using specific skills usually associated with science, engineering, industry, and communications. This is key for us since communications are common to different cultures and social classes as well. And since we are social beings. Regarding communications, we could think if technology mediates between people and nature, communications mediate between people. Communications are an essential part of our existence, and we can find them in many different kinds, from body language, gestures, to complex electromagnetic waves crossing the sky. But as a society, we also need to communicate massively, whether it be important events or ideas. The convergence of technology and communications has existed since ancient times. But up to the end of Middle Age, the communications were slowly transmitted through the distance, and the news mostly showed and shared in the place where they appeared. In 1452, Gutenberg created the printing press in Germany. Even though it was made many centuries before in China, that invention remained unknown in Europe. This invention allowed the possibility of printing the same written message with no alteration or deformation endlessly, and spreading the printings from the place they were made to distant places. This is considered the beginning of modern mass communications. Since then, communications and technology were impossible to separate, establishing a dialectic relation between them so that both shape each other. This is related to book printing, but with the beginning of journalism and commercial newspapers as well. Now we can see the convergence between mass media and capitalism. Capitalism made the mass media a tempting enterprise for inventions and technology developers. A new revolution in communications became thanks to the telegraphy, the telephone, and wireless communications. Since then, the speed in communications has become a commodity, which could only be maintained and improved by using technology. The new revolution in communications is a convergence between the development of the internet in 1970s, the wireless transmissions, and many different companies making profits. We can reach as much news as we can read or listen to on the internet or social media, but also we can communicate with each other in a way that was never possible before. The convergence of these means of communications, companies, and technological inventions such as satellites, computers, servers, and smartphones, among many others, allow people to read or listen to the news and be connected to each other in a way never imagined before. We can work or study at home and have a conference with people in different places, but we also can buy goods in a store and pay with a credit or debit card. Now, this digital area, communications are not only ideas, but also data in its more technological way. And much of this data is related to our activities online and used by companies to sell us products, including news. To summarize, we could say that from ancient times, communications and technology were closely related, developing together and even shaping each other. Nevertheless, today, communications became so complex and so speed demanding that they rely on technology in a way that it's impossible to separate them.